This is my cousin Taylor. She's 20 years old and has the genetic disorder cystic fibrosis. Taylor, about how many treatments and medicines do you take within a day?
For the treatments, I do one treatment a day right now for about 45 minutes, and it's a vest that vibrates, so my lungs are vibrated and like the mucus clears up. And then I take an inhaler, which is 2 puffs of albuterol, and then I take a nebulizer, which takes about 15 minutes, and it's of pomazine. So.
And what about the enzyme pills?
All right. I take 6 enzymes with every meal and snack, basically, because if I don't take them, I get a stomach ache. So I take 6 pills every time I eat.
Okay. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved the first drug called Kalydeco to treat the cause of cystic fibrosis, stated by Polak in 2012. Have you or will you ever use this drug?
No, this particular drug is actually made for a mutation that I don't have, but they're currently working on a drug for my mutation. So eventually I'll receive a similar drug, but not that exact drug.
Okay. Centofanti in 2000 concluded that in the 1950s, patients who battled the infections of cystic fibrosis suffered from malnutrition and barely made it past kindergarten. Have you ever suffered from malnutrition?
When I was younger, before I was diagnosed, I had a lot of trouble with bowel movements, and I wasn't really gaining weight properly, and I always had this distended stomach, which is known with CF patients. You have a bloated stomach all the time if you don't take your enzymes. So since I wasn't diagnosed yet, I guess I kind of suffered from malnutrition before 5 years old.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Have you ever been a part of any studies, or have you ever gotten any surgeries done?
Yes. I was part of a 3-year study for a drug called Danufasol, and it was just a nebulizer drug done 3 times a day for 15 minutes. So it was a very extensive extensive study. But then it ended up not working, the study showed, so it was canceled, and the drug was taken off the study, so it was kind of a waste of time, which was disappointing.
Yeah.
And then my senior year, I had 2 bronchoscopies, which is when they put a camera up your nose and into your lung to look at why you're coughing or why you're not feeling well. So they actually found 3 different bacteria in my lungs.
Oh.
So that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
And I had an IV put in my arm for a month to get rid of the bacteria.
Oh.
So it was it's called a thick line. So.
Okay. They say usually when a doctor sees the obvious symptoms of cystic fibrosis, such as salty sweat or thick mucus, they call for a sweat test, says the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation 2011. Is this how you were diagnosed?
Yep, I was diagnosed with a sweat test.
And how old were you when you were diagnosed?
I was diagnosed when I was 5 years old. My parents dragged me from doctor to doctor for at least 2 years. And all the doctors just said I was lactose intolerant. But then finally we went to a specialist, Dr. Zanny, who I still see to this day as my primary doctor, and he diagnosed me right away.
That's good. Do you ever talk to anyone else who has cystic fibrosis? Do you know anyone else?
Not really. I see them from a distance at different fundraising events, but I never actually talked to any of them because we're actually not allowed to.
Oh.
We're not allowed to be within a football field away from each other because we can make each other sick with the different bacteria.
Yeah.
So.
And my last question, do you feel cystic fibrosis has made a big impact on your life?
It definitely has made an impact on my life, but I wouldn't say it's a negative one. I would say it's definitely made me strong and independent and very responsible. I think I'm very mature for my age because I've had to deal with this my entire life.
Yeah.
So it really caused me to grow up fast, but I think it's more of a blessing than anything.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, that's it. Thank you.